Alright, hi, this is Joe again with another review. For the sake of this video, I'm going to be discussing the 2002 horror film Jason X. Of course, the only real notable actor in this thing was Kane Hodder, who of course had played Jason in several of the movies during the Friday the 13th series. Of course, it was also the second Friday the 13th movie that didn't have the title Friday the 13th in it. I got rid of the Friday the 13th title in the last film part 9. It was Jason's Dead, The Final Nightmare. Well, or should I say The Final Friday. Well, they decided to make another film, and this time they brought back the original director of the first movie, and he's now an executive producer for this film. And the problem was they decided to, because for obvious reasons, they did 9 movies all out in the woods throughout this whole long movie series. And it's been several years since you had a Friday. We had like 9 years, because by the early 90s, people, by the time Part 9 came out, or the Final Friday came out, people were tired of the whole slasher movie genre. And then, of course, you had movies like Scream and Scary Movie, which kind of spoofs the whole slasher genre. So they decided to make a couple of extra movies to bulk the Friday the 13th, bulk off the success of the movie parodies. So that's how this movie came about. And they said, that's how Part 9 came out, which is in 93. And almost 9 years later, here comes another Friday the 13th film. And this one, they set this movie in outer space. Because the producers of the movie came up with the idea and said, hey, look, we've seen 9 movies out in the woods. Even though Friday the 13th 8 took place in Manhattan, at least the last third of the film did. So let's come up with another idea, put Jason and Voorhees in another areaways killing people. So they put him in outer space. This was a real crazy, half-assed way they did it. Well, the movie starts off with, in the decent film, it took place, the start of the movie takes place in 2008. Which, of course, like 6 years after the movie came out. And now Jason is in this Crystal Lake research facility. A whole big research facility at Crystal Lake. And trying to find some way. Somehow Jason got captured. It's not clear how. And of course, in the previous film, in Part 8, he was dissolved by nuclear waste. So, how in the world, there's no explanation as to how he survived that, or how they got him from Manhattan to back up to Crystal Lake. That's not explained in this movie at all. And so they're trying to find all these crazy ways to kill him. They try stabbing him, shooting him. Like we know in the whole movie series, how many times that Jason has been, allegedly killed, and he somehow come back to life, either by lightning, which happened a couple of times, or somebody awakens him. They always come up with some way of bringing Jason back to life, and so the researchers trying to figure out why does Jason come back to life all the time. That's one. Which is an interesting idea they play with. Why does he keep coming back to life? And B, how do they kill him? And so they come up with, he has some enzyme or something in his body that refuses to let him expire. So they're trying to do all kinds of research. If it works on Jason, maybe it works on other people to keep people alive. And the idea was they couldn't figure out how to actually kill Jason because of whatever is in his body that keeps regenerating and keeps making Jason come back to life. So they decided to freeze him and see if they could work something, find something. And so, of course, Jason then, starts killing people in the research center. So it's only up to this one girl to put him in this cooler which she eventually does do, but there was a slight problem. The slight problem was there was a coolant leak, a leak in this cooler, and the cooling agent makes Jason frozen, or eventually freezes Jason, also froze the girl. And so now, 455 years later, in the year 2455, in the year 2455, more than 400 years later, the whole entire planet Earth is now polluted. The oceans are polluted, the air is polluted, with not climate change, but global warming, and the whole Al Gore bullshit that happened. Now you have, the whole Earth is now destroyed. So now researchers from what they call Earth 2 goes back to Earth 1, and they happen to find and the scientists happen to find this research facility, and they find Jason frozen and this girl frozen. And so what they do is they brought them back onto the spaceship, the two of them, Jason and this girl scientist. There was the only one left alive, and decided to defrost them. They defrosted the girl first because Jason was his body was too badly damaged to have him work right away. So what they did was they brought them back to life, and what happened was they found out what happened, and the girl says, "You're not defrosting Jason, or the guy with me." I said, "Yeah, we are." I said, "Don't do it." She warns him, "Don't do it," and then she tells her what happened, and then they did research, and then the people who were on the ship, a spaceship, found out what Jason was, and then of course the rest of the movie, Jason's killing everybody on the ship. It's only they bring 3 people alive at the end of the movie. One of them has to be a robot, or that's the robot's head. That's it, and the original woman that they found, and they defrosted, and another guy, and that's it. There's only people that were left alive, and it looks like that they finally killed Jason in the end of this movie. But the problem was that Jason is now fooling around in outer space. That's pretty much how this movie ends. But unfortunately, there's one other movie that features Jason, and that's the Freddy vs. Jason Monster Mash that happens a few years later, which I haven't seen the full movie, just the big fight scene in the end. I've seen on television, but this was really the last official Friday the 13th movie with Jason as a lone killer. And of course, at one point, the robot that's involved actually did kill Jason. The problem was the robot killed Jason. Jason was in one of the labs, and one of the labs fixed Jason up, to the point that he's now a cyborg. And now he's the one around as a cyborg, killing everybody and killing whoever's left on the ship. And they try to figure out how to kill him, and that's when they had the bit where they sucked him into outer space with another member of the crew, and that's how Jason finally expires. And of course, that's really how the movie actually does end. And the girl says, who survived the whole thing, says, "Oh, I can't believe what happened. That Jason is actually finally dead." And that's how I felt about this whole thing. I can't believe that the series has finally ended on such a low note like that. Such an iconic, such an iconic character, such an iconic, serial killer and stuff, and they wipe him out like that. I thought that this was totally. I know I've said before in other Friday the 13th films, I thought this one was like the worst one out of the whole bunch. I thought this was a horrible thing, horrible situation. What's going on? That went on in the Friday the 13th movies. But the only thing that I like about Jason X is how smoking hot the scientists were. I mean, they were wearing really skimpy outfits. A lot of skin was showing. A lot of midriffs was shown, and And so I just wish I had doctors look like the ones in this movie. I mean, or find scientists who look like the scientists in this movie. But other than that, Jason X is horrible. Let's stick to maybe the first 6 or 7 movies of the Friday the 13th series and forget the last 3 because it's that it's that bad. It really is that bad. That really last 3 movies of the series. I'm talking about episodes 8, 9, and 10. Just skip because what Jason X reminds me of is like Friday the 13th meets Alien. I mean that's exactly what it is. Jason on a ship, on a spaceship, kind of like what Alien was back in the day. So that's my review of the movie Jason X. Please click on the video, please rate it, please subscribe to my channel, and please forward this video onto your Facebook pages. And you can check out all my reviews on my YouTube channel at RowdyC.com. That's all WDY. C.com is the homepage of my reviewer, Chris Lee Moore. Please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.